Hey everybody, welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I'm a transgender woman and I talk about all things horror. And today I'm finally finishing up the X trilogy with MaXXXine. And it's got 3 X's in the title because it's the third in the X trilogy, even though the second one was just called Pearl. Now, I've already talked about X on this channel, and I've already talked about Pearl on this channel. I loved them both. If I gave ratings, I would give both of those movies 5-star ratings. In my opinion, X is a perfect movie, flawless. Pearl is a perfect movie, absolutely flawless. I would not change a single frame of either movie. MaXXXine was a fun movie and an enjoyable, and this is why I don't give star ratings on this channel, because I don't think they're that helpful for horror fans, because horror movies you tend to enjoy differently than you do traditional movies. When you're watching a comedy, you expect it to be funny, but you still expect there to be characters and a story and a plot. You don't expect those things from a horror movie. Most of the time, you just want good kills and characters that you can either love or hate, and that's it. MaXXXine is a horror film, not a horror movie. And the distinction for me is film is the word I apply to cinema as art. MaXXXine, X, Pearl, these are works of fucking art. These are not schlock. They're horror movies. There's a lot of sex and violence, gratuitous sex and violence in these movies, but they are absolutely works of art. A horror movie would be Leprechaun, not a work of art, just something you enjoy. Now, that's just sort of how I kind of feel about it. I did study film criticism in college. I studied film in college, and I had aspirations to become a filmmaker. Became a television producer instead, but that's neither here nor there. I loved MaXXXine, but not as much as Pearl or X. If I gave star reviews, and I'm giving this a buy. You want the trilogy. It works as a trilogy. You're going to love MaXXXine if you liked X. You're going to love MaXXXine if you liked Pearl. You're going to love MaXXXine if you hated X and loved Pearl. And you're going to love MaXXXine if you liked X and hated Pearl. Or vice versa. It doesn't matter. If you like one or the other, you're going to enjoy MaXXXine because it is a continuation of the story. Now, I had 2 issues with MaXXXine. Issue number 1, we've already sat through X, and so there isn't any need for build-up or backstory, so they just jump right in. But if it's been a while since you've seen X, you're going to jump in and you're following MaXXXine, and you're going to be a little, taken aback at some of her things that she does, because you're like, you might, unless you forgot, oh yeah, she survived a serial killer by killing them. But she does still get some kills in. But also, she's still trying to play it like she's a celebrity, or trying to be a celebrity. But my biggest issue is it's so fucking predictable. I could predict every scene before it happened, just as soon as I saw the setup. I was like, okay, they're going to do this, and my brain filled in the blanks, and then the movie did exactly what the blanks my brain filled in. This movie was so predictable, I probably could have pictured the whole movie start to finish just from the title credits. There's nothing at all unpredictable. There's no jumps. There's no twists and turns. You know who the killer is before you start the movie. You know who the bad guy is before you start the movie. You know how it's going to end before you even hit play, because you've already seen X. Now, I will still elevate this as a work of art. This is still a legitimately, I'm not going to use the word elevated horror. I almost did. But I still consider this a proper film. This is a legit good movie, and you should watch it. If I gave star ratings, which I don't, I already gave the first 2 5 stars, I would probably give this 3.5 stars. It is good, but not as good as the previous 2. But I still recommend it as a buy, because to me, that's the threshold. For me, if a horror movie, all you need to know is this a movie that I want in my collection, that I'm going to watch again, or is this a movie I'm going to watch and forget? That's how I rate horror movies. I do it differently on my other channels because other films, you have different expectations. But it is what it is. Stay cool.